So guys, in this video I'm going to talk about the dragon. So, the dragon is, in the book of Revelation, the dragon is mentioned that it invades heaven and Archangel Michael destroys the dragon. He casts him down to earth, and that's at the end of the end of the era, or end of the world to some people, and that begins the cosmic battle. Some say this already happened, some say that it's just allegorical. It did happen in a spiritual sense, but it's happening again in a spiritual convergent sense with the physical world. And yes, the dragon is on the earth right now. In fact, you already know who this is. But I'm going to show you how you can figure this out. So the dragon. We have to look into zodiac symbols again. In this particular case, the Chinese zodiac. So, year of I'm going to say years. And this is going to get a clue. We're going to work backwards here. So, the years of the dragon comes every 12 years. 1940, 1952, 1964, 1976, 1988, etc., etc. And last year was 2024. So, these are based on Chinese lunar characters, so the exact start and end dates of Chinese year vary slightly depending on when Lunar New Year began, usually late January and early mid-February. 2024, Year of the Dragon begins on February 10th, 2024, and ends on January 28th, 2025. And one of these dates does coincide with someone in power right now. And that would be 1952. We're going to see if she can figure that out. What world leader is in power today who is a dragon? I believe he's the only one. I think he's the only one. It's gonna tell you exactly who it is. But that's not where the story ends. Vladimir Putin, born on October 7th, 1952. He's a water dragon, one of the most symbolically striking figures connected to the dragon archetype. You also have Macron, close to a fire-snake bird of counting by Western approximations, some still mislabel as a dragon. Snake is 1977, dragon is 1976. But yes, it is Putin. Putin being a dragon is very meaningful if you're interpreting leaders in symbolic archetypes. Water dragon calm, strategic, intuitive, enduring, more mysterious, and hidden power. This fits how you've described him, a figure with deep symbolic destiny, layered roles, transformational influence. So, he invaded Ukraine. And based on what we already talked about, with the powers, the higher powers, Chernobyl being a forgotten throne, and all these things, Ukraine is a symbol of heaven, if we're going by all this information. Another interesting fact is that in Kiev, you have what is known as the protector of Kiev, who is Archangel Michael. He's seen as the protector of Kiev, right? You know, they got statues of him. I've seen them. They're here and there around. I believe I've seen 2 statues of Archangel Michael, but you wouldn't know who he is. Like, he's like in small figures, or it's easy to miss him. in Kiev, but he's there. I've been around in other parts of Ukraine, Kharkiv, Lviv, Odessa, but I don't believe I've seen him. No, I know I haven't seen him in those cities in Ukraine. So his only existence is in Kiev. And that plays a role in another video. Might not do it next one. But we're just going to look at the dragon and looking at Putin. And he's born on October 7th. Here's a question for you. Remember what makes October 7th significant? Do you remember? Do you remember what happened on October 7th? And again, it ties back into it. This is where things get crazy. Major events on October 7th. October 7th, 2023. Hamas attack on Israel. One of the most major recent events. That's true. It happened on October 7th, on Putin's birthday. Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel, leading to a major escalation in Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The attack marked the beginning of a large-scale war between Israel and Hamas, leading to global reaction and geopolitical tensions across the Middle East and the West. That's similar to how Russia attacked Ukraine and Israel, the Holy Land. So, I haven't found anyone talking about that on YouTube or any news outlet. But you could directly tie that back to Putin. The timing was shocking and symbolic for many, considered one of the worst attacks on Israel in decades. In fact, if I recall, there was no warning or anything. And this ties to his birthday. Like, I would have to say, based on this, it has something to do with Putin. You say, well, isn't that stretching? No, I didn't know this. October 7th, 2001, which is after 9/11, U.S. invasion of Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom, began launching the war on terror just weeks after 9/11. Founding of the German Democratic Republic East Germany during the Cold War. Vladimir Putin's birth. As you noted, the date has acquired symbolic weight depending on how you interpret historical cycles. So, because he was born, there was interesting things about the year 1952. That's also the same year that the KGB was created, and Stalin died a year later in 1953. So, when Putin grew up, he could have reflected on 1949. Having East Germany, and that was during the Cold War. So he was born during the Cold War, and he had this East Germany thing. That was when East and West were divided. Not only by East Germany, not Germany being divided, but the world was divided by the Eastern powers and the Western powers. Much like West Germany and East Germany. So Putin could have seen that connection when he was growing up. So he could feel that. Because I believe he wanted to be a KGB agent when he was 16 years old. I believe that was when he wanted to do that. And he was, later on, he was promoted for his work. I believe he was promoted to lieutenant of the KGB for his work in East Germany, which was, I believe, I think he was promoted at the age of 39. When he was, I believe that was in 1988. It could have been in 1991, but I do know that he was promoted at the very end of the Soviet Union. I believe it was 1991 when he was promoted. I cannot spell this word for the life of me. I believe it was 1991. Training school 1985. Likely, yeah. Yeah, he was in East Germany as an undercover KGB officer. Around this time, he held the rank of major, but he would have been promoted to lieutenant and captain ranks earlier. Likely in late 70s or early 1980s. But there was something about him in Was it Major that he... Maybe it was Major. But I thought it was like late 1990. I mean, early 1990s. I thought it was Lieutenant Eddie. Anyways, he was promoted during this time for his work in East Germany. That is what I know. Yeah, he was promoted after this. I know that much. He was promoted after 1985. Whatever this rank is, that was 1985, and he was 39 years old. And I know he was 39. I think that was... You're going to have to do math on that one. Does it work here? It's not like iOS. iOS would know how to do that. What year is it? 20... Actually, it's not even working on my... Spotlight usually has calculator. I don't know why it's not working. 39 years. Yeah, it was 39. Yeah, he was promoted in 1991. That's what I thought. So... Yeah, he carried a legacy with him, and he's still in power right now. So they've always known that he was supposed to be living at this time. He was never supposed to leave out of power. And we can go into a lot of detail into why that is later. So he is representative of the dragon. But not everything is what it seems. So you have to ask the question, if Putin is the dragon, and Ukraine is heaven, and Archangel Michael is the protector of Kiev, then who's Putin? Then who's Archangel Michael? It's not me. I can tell you that much. It ain't me. But I don't have enough time to tell you in this video. I guess maybe I'll tell you in the next one. Might as well get it over with. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to talk about that in the next video.